You do not need a finance degree in order to become an investor. Let's talk about how you can start investing without having a finance degree, but instead having a system that respects your reality, respects where you're at, and makes it easy to be consistent with investing as well as confident in what you're doing. First, I want to chat about though how investing feels so overwhelming for so many of us when we get started, especially if didn't grow up in a family where you had people, investing that you could observe, right? If you don't have that finance degree, if you don't have a perfect understanding of how the US financial system works, right? If you don't have that uncle who's advising you, right? Then it can feel really overwhelming and chaotic getting started as a first time investor, as the first investor in your family. So having a step by step process that you can follow that is simple is a way that you can move forward without having to know everything and just making sure you have a clear path ahead. And so remember that again, you just need a system that guides you, that supports you. You don't need to have this whole finance background. I promise it's not as complicated as they make it seem to be investing in the US stock market. And it's not about having the credentials, right? It's about having, again, those systems, those frameworks that can replace that feeling of overwhelm with calm, with having a plan and a structure that you can pursue for your investing goals. So you are not behind if you haven't had a chance to get started. You just likely have never been given the blueprint, right? And that does not mean that you can't do it. And here's what we know from helping hundreds of immigrants and first gen investors here in Immigrant Finance and their wealth building journeys is that you are more than qualified to do this. You don't need to have a degree. It's about having that lived experience, that resilience, and being clear on your why, on your values of why you want to be investing, why you want to be building a better future for you and your family. Having that top of mind is going to give you the strength that you need to, learn that language at the front end so that you can get that account open and then get started building your system. And you might be working multiple jobs, you might be supporting family in two countries, you might be, learning the basics of the financial system, the foundations. You might be the first in your family to ever talk about investing. But again, that doesn't make you behind. It makes you a pioneer. It makes you a leader. And pioneers don't need a finance degree. They need direction. They need a strategy. So how you can get started with investing is by having a three-step path to begin that reduces the overwhelm, that reduces the pressure. And let's talk about what those three steps are. It's about having support, getting your account open, and then learning how investing works. Those are the three steps to take so that you can be moving forward. In terms of getting support, like the first step, right? That's what we're here for in Immigrant Finance. The main way we help people is our Immigrant Finance School program, where we walk you through step by step how to do all this, how to get your investment account open. Even if you don't have a social security number, all you need is an ITIN. If you have an ITIN, you can get it open, right? And we walk you through how investing actually works, the strategies that long-term wealth builders take to build wealth in the stock market that you can implement yourself, and how to assess your own risk tolerance, what you're comfortable with, so that you can feel informed and really be the one guiding and controlling your investments going forward for the rest of your life. So we're here to teach you how to do it yourself. And so you can feel grounded, you can feel supported, right? And you can get that account open. That's the second step, right? Once you get that account open, you get to become an investor just like anyone else. The account opening stage is the main piece where we do see some immigration aspects come in. That's exactly what we help with, making sure you get all those questions and the documents required all in line so you can successfully get your account open and then get on to the strategy piece of investing. And in that piece, again, a degree is not necessarily helpful. We actually have had a lot of students do the program who majored in finance in college, and they have a better understanding than the average person of how the stock market works, but they still don't know the mechanics, the logistics of getting their accounts open, purchasing their investments, having a strategy, right? Degrees teach theory. That's why they're not practical often. So we teach you the practical aspects of how to actually build wealth as an immigrant, so that you can, learn by doing. Our program, Immigrant Finance School, is applied learning. We're having you implement things through the assignments as you're learning so that you can get things rolling as soon as possible. We don't have textbooks. We do have guidance and materials, but you're not going to be reading a book. You're going to be getting your account open, learning how to go online, research investments in stocks, and how to choose your investments are going to match your risk level, how you can grow your portfolio over time, and how to do all this while managing the other aspects of finances so that you can still make sure you're paying the bills, sending money home, navigating life in the US, and meeting all of your financial goals. So this is what wealth building looks like in real life, not in a classroom. We'd love to invite you to join us and get started. You can apply at immigrantfinanceschool.com. Thanks. We'll see you in the next video.